Und willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Shinrai, Broken Beyond Despair. Wir haben letztes Mal hier uns umgeguckt und haben ein paar sehr interessante Sachen über Hentai erfahren, deren Seiten zusammenkleben. Aber jetzt sind wir mit den Investigationen erstmal fertig und können mit der Story weitermachen. Done talking and looking around? Yes, I am. Right. Guess I can't force ya. I'm gonna talk some more to the others, though. Na, wir haben ja eigentlich schon zur Genüge mit denen geredet, ne? And with that I apologize to Bara-chan before quietly withdrawing into a corner of the room. Sighing, I sat down at one of the large dinner tables from where I watched the others continue their boring and trivial conversations. I really wasn't made for this kind of thing. All I could hope now was that it wouldn't take much longer for Rie to come back. The sooner she would, the sooner I'd be able to go to bed. I wasn't exactly sure how much time had passed since she had set out on her quest to regenerate her rotten skin, but by now it should have been more than enough to take several showers. Just what in the world was she doing? I was really starting to get bored here and already felt a little exhausted. The party hadn't even officially started yet, and I would have loved to just go straight to bed. And I guess I wasn't the only one. Runa was trying her best to keep everyone entertained, but the nervousness on her face etched itself deeper and deeper into expression as the others grew more and more impatient. Ist Rie jetzt am Ende schon tot? Where the hell is Rie? Some party this is. I'm getting bored here, and I can only eat so many snacks before I feel like throwing up. My apologies, Shiratake-san. I don't know what's taking her so long. Well, if she doesn't show up soon, I'm going to my room. Please, it can't be much longer. I think I'll just go look for Rikun. She's honestly taking a little too long. Ja, vielleicht siehst du sie dann ja nackt, während sie sich gerade für dich umzieht. You don't have to, Kikai-san. I will go myself and... But before she was able to finish a sentence... The clattering noise of the sliding doors cut right through it. Everyone immediately darted their gazes towards the dining hall's entrance. Ist Rie doch noch gekommen, aha. Wie hatte ich die nochmal gesprochen? Das ist so lange her... Ich weiß nicht mehr, wie ich die gesprochen hatte. Alter. Die kam seit 3 Folgen nicht mehr vor. Oh Gott. Nee, seit 2 Folgen kam sie nicht vor. Trotzdem. Ich muss einmal kurz reinhören, wie ich die gesprochen hatte. Obwohl, kann ich gar nicht. Oh fuck, ich kann nicht mal nachgucken, wann ich die gesprochen hatte, weil ich Audacity noch offen habe, um das hier gerade aufzunehmen. Und, ja, ne? Ich kann jetzt Audacity nicht schließen, um das andere in Audacity zu öffnen. Och Mann, ist das kacke. Joho. Ich weiß nicht mehr, wie ich sie gesprochen hatte. Jetzt bin ich so... Ja, wieso bin ich jetzt schon wieder rausgetappt? Dieses Let's Play ist ein einziges Chaos. Joho. Spreche ich sie einfach so. There she was. Finally. Resurrected from the dead, Rie stood between the sliding doors, the blood originally covering her arms and chest gone, just like the deep flesh wounds and lifeless color from her face. Now that she didn't look like a rotting corpse anymore, her outfit definitely had a more sexy vibe to it, certainly much better suited for seductive purposes. Did I hear that right? Aber jetzt klingt sie genauso wie Momoko. Wie soll ich sie denn sprechen? Ach komm, ich spreche sie einfach mit so einer standardhohen Stimme. Did I hear that right? You wanted to look for me, Taiko? Were you that worried? Well, we all were. I mean, what kind of host just disappears leaving their guests by themselves? And hey, what happened to your zombie look? Is that why you were gone? Did you take a shower? Yep, that body paint got kinda itchy. I wouldn't have been able to stand it for much longer. Ja, genau deswegen. You could have at least told us. If I had, you would have followed me to sneak a peek. Never. Er schon, ne? Well, I definitely would have. You look super sexy now, Reacher. Anyways. Don't ignore me, Schätzchen. I'm sorry for making you guys wait. But now we can finally get things rolling. Ja, Köpfe rollen. Ich meine, bringt die Sache hier ins Rollen. No one said a word, but their expressions all translated to the same thought about time. And I could only agree. With Rie now finally present as well, this moment also marked the first time tonight that every single person attending this Halloween party was gathered in the same place. 10 people in total. 3 boys and 7 girls. Aside from Bara-chan and myself... Ja. There was the resurrected zombie Rie. The twin shrine maidens Runa and Momoko. Carmen, the Black Witch. Das sieht doch jetzt schon aus, als ob da irgendwer von stirbt. Ich meine, dieser Bildschirm alleine schon hat schon so ein Murder-Mystery-Feeling. Mika the Reaper. Count Hirocula. Convict Kotoba and the unsuspecting love trap victim Taiko. Ja, das sind sie alle. For such a giant resort, that sure was a small number of guests. In any case, despite my desire to just go to bed, or better yet return home, I had to admit I was somewhat intrigued as to what was going to happen next. Everyone was. Except for Runa, no one else had the slightest clue what exactly Rie had planned for us tonight. One thing was for certain though, a horrifying chain of events was to unfold. One that not even our host could have foreseen. Dum, dum, dum. New diary entry. Und jetzt Chapter 2. Jetzt kann endlich der Spaß beginnen. Trepidation. Please stop! I beg you! Please stop! Wer auch immer das war, ich kann das nicht sagen, weil da steht Fragezeichen. Schön, wie die Fledermaus hier auch gerade voll erschreckt. Ja! Why? Why are you doing this? Das ist bestimmt Mika, die gerade wieder den Perversen verprügelt. It was over. Those desperate pleas for mercy, distorted by pitiful whimpers and blood-curdling cries of agony, had finally stopped. In their place, all that remained now was a strange, almost bizarre sound. A sound quite similar to a gargle, just drier. If that made any sense. It was hard to put into words, but it reminded me of the sound a person made when gargling, just with barely any liquid held in their throat. Continuous yet inconsistent, that dry, low-pitched gargling noise hung in the air, repeatedly getting cut off, almost like a stutter, until it eventually faded away, leaving behind nothing but deathly silence. As the last glint of life had left what had once resembled a human being, its mutilated remains slowly slid down the wall, smearing a trail of red paint across the cracked clay. Die gucken wahrscheinlich gerade einen Horrorfilm oder so, ne? Before finally collapsing on the floor into a pool of its own blood. A truly gruesome death. For a dick-driven moron who deserved it. Es war wieder Mika, die den anderen verprügelt hat, ne? Achso, das war tatsächlich ein Horrorfilm. As the credits began to roll, Rie turned off the projector and switched the lights back on. Where only a few seconds ago a guy had been beaten to death with a baseball bat, there now was nothing but an empty white wall. Thank God it was over. What a terrible movie. To start this little Halloween party off and get everyone into the right mood, Rie had wanted all of us to watch a rather short horror movie together. While in theory that didn't sound like such a bad idea, I really wished she had chosen a better movie. It had been your typical run-of-the-mill slasher, with a bunch of stupid teenagers getting killed one after another by some invincible cloaked psychopath. Ist das nicht genau das, was hier eventuell auch passieren wird? Sadly, all the characters had been obnoxious douchebags without any likable traits. So instead of cheering for them and hoping they'd survive, I had almost wanted them to die. And if that hadn't been enough, the poor acting, abysmal special effects, and bad writing had turned the whole thing into more of an unintentionally comedy flick than actual horror. Needless to say, I hadn't been scared in the slightest. However... Holy crap! Natürlich. That was like the scariest and goriest movie ever. Natürlich ist sie wieder beeindruckt davon. The way that one guy got his eyes gouged out with a toothpick was just messed up, man. Messed up. My eyes are still twitching. I sure as hell ain't gonna sleep tonight. I know. No one saw that one coming, huh? Doch, ja, Barra-chan had been absolutely terrified by that cinematic disaster, clinging to my arm and literally squeezing it numb the whole time. Only now did I finally start to feel some blood running into my fingers again. If Rie's intention behind showing us that movie had been to turn us into nervous, paranoid wrecks, so it would be easier to scare us with whatever else she had planned tonight, then at least when it came to Barra-chan, she had definitely succeeded. Although, to my surprise, Barra-chan wasn't the only one this movie seemed to have taken quite a toll on. Of course, Hiro hadn't been impressed at all. On the contrary, he had even been laughing throughout most of the movie, poking fun at the bad effects and stupid protagonists. His precious Peach, on the other hand, had accompanied the movie score with terrified whimpers and occasional shrieks from start to finish. She actually looked rather pale now. Carmen's and Runa's faces also looked quite colorless. In order to give themselves the courage to keep on watching, they had been sitting shoulder to shoulder, holding hands and even hugging each other during the especially gory parts. And every now and then they had also joined into the shrieking choir spricht man Choir aus, ne? As for Rie and Taiko, well, neither of them paid too much attention to the movie. I guess Taiko had wanted to, but Rie wouldn't let him. She had used every opportunity, every single jump scare to throw herself at him, acting all scared and hoping he'd take her into his arms to comfort her. Ich wollte gerade schon Room sagen, weil das hofft sie eigentlich, aber I had no idea if he had actually realized that she had only pretended to be scared, but whatever the case, the poor guy seemed rather exhausted and slightly disturbed now. Similar to Rie, Kotoba had also tried using the movie to his advantage in order to get closer to any of us girls. But unsurprisingly, he had failed at that quite epically. When trying to sling his arms around Cayman's waist, she had slapped him so hard that he had been out cold for a while. And he could even consider himself lucky getting off with just that. I mean, if Mika hadn't been preoccupied with other things, who would knew what she would have done to him? Speaking of that little devil, it should have been pretty obvious that she had been so busy with trying to give me the scare of a lifetime, of course. However, if she really wanted to triumph over me, she had to do a lot better than sneaking up on me to yell "boo" in my ears and other childish nonsense like that. I honestly felt somewhat insulted that she apparently thought such a pitiful attempts at scaring me could work. In any case, now that the first square on Rie's to-do list was checked, it was time to move on to the next one. Und das nächste ist Dinner. Originally she had planned to eat during the movie, however, even if the effects had been pretty fake-tastic, that sure had been one disgusting gore-fest. And eating while watching intestines fly all over the place obviously wasn't the best of ideas. Adding to that was the fact that most of us had already wolfed down a whole bunch of snacks while waiting for her return from her shower, so it shouldn't have come as much of a surprise that there hadn't been any objections to postpone dinner until after the movie. Besides, it was 11:40 p.m. now, and dinner seemed to be the ideal way to kill those 20 minutes until midnight, when, according to Rie, the real fun was going to start. Ich bin schon gespannt auf den real fun. During our rather late dinner, instead of everyone sitting together at the same table, we had separated into smaller groups and spread across the entire dining hall. On the one hand, I kinda thought that defeated the person... Okay, nochmal. On the one hand, I kinda thought that defeated the purpose of this whole get-together, but then again, I felt a lot more comfortable with just the people I was used to being around. So with Bara-chan sitting next to me and Rie and Runa on the opposite side of the table, I enjoyed another slice of Runa's delicious pumpkin pie, while the others continued their conversation. So, Miyamoto-san, how did it go with Kikai-san? Did you make any progress?
Yeah, sure made quite a show during that movie.
Do you think I went too far? He seemed to feel a little uncomfortable. Well, Kikai-san probably wasn't expecting you to go all out on him like that. Perhaps he just didn't know how to handle the situation.
Yeah. How'd you feel if someone would just repeatedly throw themselves at you like that?
Now you guys are making me even more worried. I hope, he doesn't think I'm a weirdo.
Du, der ist befreundet, sein bester Freund ist der Perversling, also glaube ich kaum, dass du hier der Weirdo bist. Don't you worry. I bet he enjoyed how you squeezed your boobs against his arm. He's a guy after all. Besides, if he didn't, he probably would've touched to stop, right?
Was?
Achso, he would have probably told you to stop, right? Ich find ihren Dialekt so komisch.
I don't know. Taiko's the kind of guy who doesn't want to hurt other people's feelings. So, even if I did get on his nerves, he would have never said a thing and just silently endured it. Oh man, I probably really screwed up, didn't I? I bet he thinks I'm super annoying now. Now. Don't lose hope, Miyamoto-san. I am certain everything will work out fine. You have to think positively. Doubts and negativity are a setup for failure. You need to be confident in order to succeed. And why shouldn't you be? You still have your master plan. Was ist denn der Masterplan? And we both are going to make sure it will be a success, correct? Well, I guess. You're right. I worked too hard on this to just give up like that. Besides, there's absolutely no way my 100% foolproof master plan is gonna fail, right? Especially with you at my side. Exactly. Now, that's the Miyamoto-san I know. Thanks, Runa. You're welcome. Now, no more worrying, okay? Yeah, I'll be fine. Ja, willst du uns jetzt davon erzählen, von dem Masterplan? Speaking of being fine, though, what about you? Are you sure you're really going to be fine? You know, seeing those two... Was? Welche zwei? When I said no more worrying, that also included worrying about me. But... I'll be fine. Really. It's not like I can do anything about it now, anyway. And I've already told you I'm over it, remember? Well, maybe so, but worüber denn?
In any event, I think it's about time to go check on our other guests again. So, if you'll excuse me for a moment. Steht sie etwa auf den Dracula-Typen? Auf Hiro? And just like that, Runa cut off Rie for good before getting up and moving over to the others in order to see if any of them needed anything. I wasn't really on to pry, so I didn't want to ask any questions, however. It was very unlike Runa to end a conversation in this manner, so I had to admit I was rather curious as to what the two of them had even been talking about. Luckily, unlike me, Barrett-chan had no qualms about poking her nose into other people's business.
What the heck was that all about? Which two were you talking about, and why would Runa be fine seeing them?
Well, don't tell anyone about this, but I was referring to Momoko and Hiro. Also, Runa steht entweder auf Momoko oder auf Hiro.
Oh.
I originally wasn't planning to invite them.
What? Why not?
Because, you see, Runa actually has feelings for Hiro.
What? I never knew.
Hey, keep it down, will ya? Also doch, habe ich mir schon gedacht.
Oops, sorry.
Anyways, I was worried if Runa would be alright seeing the two of them together like that. You know, kissing and hugging all the time. So I originally didn't want to invite them, but Runa insisted I should. They're our friends after all.
I see.
She keeps telling me she's over it and that it doesn't bother her anymore, but I get the feeling that's not entirely true. I mean, I know her better than anyone, so I can tell she isn't completely over him yet.
That really sucks. Poor Runa.
Yeah, love sure can be a bitch. Although personally I'd say it's for the better this way. Hiro can be a little, you know, ja, eingebildet.
Hey, Rie!
Was? Well, speak of the devil. Warum kommt er denn jetzt gerade? Hey, it's Prince Hiro. Let me guess, you found something else to complain about your nitpickiness? What's it this time? The dinner plate's not your favorite color?
You really suck, you know that, Rie?
Hey now, if anyone here sucks, it's you, bloodsucker. Just crawl back into your coffin before I ram a stake through your chest.
Very funny. Those lame vampire jokes the best you can do? I am disappointed.
Es ist nicht disappointed.
But what else should I expect from a host who doesn't even manage to unlock the toilets for her guests?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Do I have to spell it out? I need to take a piss, but the toilet is locked.
Is it? I could have sworn I unlocked it. Did I accidentally lock it again? Wrinkling her forehead in confusion, Rie reached into her pocket and took out a small set of silver keys. Highlighting one of them, she headed to set over to Hiro. This one right here. Leave the door open, Kay?
And here I was actually planning on locking it again to prevent everyone else from revealing themselves.
You're quite the comedian yourself, aren't you?
Come on, who do you take me for? I'm the great hero, not a useless, unreliable scatterbrain like you. Of course I'll leave it open. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Have fun. Das sage ich auch immer, wenn jemand aufs Klo geht. Dann sage ich immer viel Erfolg oder viel Spaß, viel Glück. Bleh. As I was about to say earlier, sometimes that guy's attitude really pisses me off. Verständlich. Only sometimes. I can't believe this happened. Maybe I was a little too thorough when I locked all the doors.
You locked all them doors? Why?
Well, I had to promise Dad we wouldn't cause too much chaos, so I basically locked all the doors in the entire resort. With a few exceptions, of course.
You know, reception, dining hall, kitchen, and well, at least I thought I had unlocked the restrooms on the first floor, but I guess I was too thorough and accidentally locked them too. Also falls ein Mord geschieht, ne? Falls ein Mord geschieht, ist jetzt schon mal Hiro ziemlich verdächtig. Alleine aus dem Grund, dass er gerade mit den Schlüsseln unterwegs ist und alles aufschließen kann, was er gerne aufschließen möchte. Er hat gerade die Gelegenheit dazu. Also das behalte ich mal im Hinterkopf, ne? But I guess I was too thorough and accidentally locked them too. That's totally like ya. But wait, does it mean our room's locked too? Yep. If you want to go up, just let me know and I'll unlock it for you. You're not thinking of going to bed already, are you? Nah. After that movie, I couldn't sleep now anyway. Why did you lock our rooms though? Ain't that more work for ya if you always gotta escort people up there if they wanna enter their rooms? With people like Kotoba around, you never know. Ja, macht Sinn. I don't want him to sneak into your rooms or something, so I'd rather have him locked. Yeah, good point. Wer weiß, was der da drin macht. I still remember how he snuck into our rooms on that last school trip. And we caught him sniffing at my underwear. Aha. While wearing mine. Oh Gott, es wird ja noch schlimmer. Oh Gott. Curses, repressed memories resurfacing. Oi! ¿Qué pasa? Warum kommt er denn jetzt ausgerechnet an? Well, speak of the devil. Again. You sexy ladies talking about the great moi? You guys aren't slandering Kotoba and me, are you? Nah. We'd never. Well, at least not you, Taiko-kun. But me, oder wie? Das reimt sich. Anyways. What do you guys want? Can't survive a couple of minutes without some female company? You wish. We were just wondering when things are actually gonna get started since we're already done eating. Why do boys always have to be so impatient? Not everyone's ready yet. But don't worry, we're gonna start the main event in a few minutes. Sehr gut. I'm slowly getting into the Halloween mood. What are we gonna do anyway? A stroll the notch through Le Forêt? Was? Ha! We're not gonna do something as lame as that. Forêt ist der Forest, also würde ich mal glauben, ne? Nachtwanderung durch den Wald oder was hat er gerade vorgeschlagen? I have something pretty amazing up my sleeve, if I do say so myself. But I obviously wouldn't spoil it for you guys. Anyways, if everyone else is ready, I guess we might as well start once Hiro gets back. With that said, everyone nodded their okay, and whoever was still working on finishing their late dinner, including myself, stepped it up a bite in order to do so before Hiro would return. Luckily, that guy didn't take nearly as long as Rie took to get back from her shower, and after just a couple of minutes, the noisy rattle of the sliding doors heralded his return. With his usual smug grin plastered on his face, he walked towards Rie, handed back the keys, and proudly proclaimed that the toilet issue had been dealt with. Alrighty then. Just about midnight now, so I guess it's time to kick off the main event. Ja, main event, main event, main event, los jetzt. Well, almost. I'm just going somewhere real quick myself. Oh, come on now. You can't be serious. You really know how to drag things out, don't you? For once I had to agree with him. With another waiting phase incoming, this was getting worse than any turn-based RPG. Well, excuse me, princess. Can't fight Mother Nature. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Why didn't you just come along when I went to take a piss? I didn't need to then.
Well, I sure hope all this waiting is actually gonna pay off.
Das ist auch immer sowas, ne? Was mich unglaublich stört, wenn irgendjemand mich fragt, ja, warum bist du nicht eben aufs Klo gegangen? Ja, weil ich da noch nicht musste. Das kann man halt nicht kontrollieren, nicht unbedingt. Will you stop complaining for once? It will, don't worry. Anyways, I want everyone to stay here until I'm back. No one leaves the dining hall, okay? Runa? Yes, you can leave everything to me, Miyamoto-san. Alrighty. I'll make it quick, so just hang in there for a few more minutes, okay? And with a huge grin of excitement flashing across her lips, Rie turned around and zoomed through the sliding doors as fast as she could. So I guess we had no choice but to wait once again. While Runa began moving around the dining hall, extinguishing all the candles until the ceiling lights were the only remaining light source, the rest of us gathered at one of the larger dinner tables. For a moment the room was filled with nothing but silence. At least until Hiro raised his voice to cut right through it and make a proposal.
Knowing Rie, she'll probably take her sweet time again. So seeing as that movie was a complete joke and we still haven't done anything actually scary yet, I've got an idea. Raiko?
Yes? What did that guy want from me of all people? Du sollst bestimmt eine Gruselgeschichte erzählen.
I heard you and Mika have some kind of competition going.
I guess you could say that.
I want in on that.
What?
As far as I know, she's trying to scare you, right? And if she does, she wins. But so far, she's utterly failed at that. So if I manage to scare you and beat you and I beat you and her, right? So what do you say? Ready for a challenge?
I guess. So now Hiro wanted to try and scare me too? Well, I had to admit I was kinda curious as to how he wanted to achieve that. It couldn't be as bad as Mika's attempts at least. And speaking of that little devil...
Wait, where the heck is that girl anyway?
Hey, right, where'd she go? Maybe Tamashi-san needed to pay the restrooms a visit as well and left together with Miyamoto-san. Hauptsache, sie hat diese Maske aufgesetzt. Of course, what a surprise. Upon seeing that grotesque long-nosed face, which had suddenly appeared over my shoulder, Bara-chan instinctively grabbed my arm. Her entire body vibrating like a jackhammer, she dug her fingers into my cardigan, scratching the skin beneath. It actually hurt a little, so I quickly tried to calm her down. However, it was only when Mika finally removed that hideous Tengu mask that she was able to relax again. Damn it, Mika! Would you stop doing that? My poor friggin' heart! Mika is impressed. Raiko once again didn't even twitch. Or is Raiko so scared she turned to stone? I saw you grab the mask from the wall earlier, so I kinda knew what you were up to. As expected from Raiko. But Raiko won't be able to keep up this facade any longer. Sooner or later, it will crumble, and then Mika will be victorious. Not if you keep up these cheap, uninspired tricks.
Yeah, seriously, you really suck at this. Your amateurish, childish pranks wouldn't even scare a baby.
Said the guy that Mika had once almost scared to death by putting a severed rubber arm into his sports bag.
Let me show you how it's done. As I said, I'm gonna scare Raiko, and in doing so, beat both of you at your competition. proving once again that I am the awesomest of all. So Hiro thinks he can do better than Mika? Duh! I am the great hero! I do better than anyone at anything! I think that's a waste of time. Our little Miss Grumpy here just lacks any sort of human emotion. So no matter what you do, she won't show any reaction. Might as well try scaring a brick wall. Carmen, stop it. Oh well, you can still give it a try though. Seeing Hiro fail is always amusing. What are you even talking about? I never fail. At anything. Ever. You should know by now. I am a perfect organism. You should admire my purity. I am definitely gonna scare the shit out of all of you. Aha. Whatever you say. I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies. How do you plan on scaring Raiko-chan anyway? Indem jemanden umbringt. With a good old-fashioned horror story, of course. Oh yes. Tell us a horror story. Hiro's really good at that. Doesn't matter how good he is. I'll eat my head if he gets little Miss Grumpy here to even blink. Not even that disgusting movie shocked her, so I doubt a simple horror story is going to work on that hollow shell of a... Carmen? That's enough. She just couldn't keep her mouth shut, could she? Sure, she was right in saying that horror story wasn't going to scare me. Rationality was one of my very few strengths, so the fact that I knew it was a story was already enough a reason to not be afraid, especially if it was going to revolve around ghosts and curses or something silly as that. I mean, why would I be scared of something I knew wasn't real? As for Mika's jump scare, the reason why it hadn't shocked me was the same as before. When she had tried to surprise us in the hallway, I had already anticipated her attack. I had been prepared for it. And that movie? As I had mentioned earlier, it had been so badly made, I honestly couldn't comprehend how anyone could be scared by something like that. Still, all of that didn't mean I was completely unable to experience something like fear. Maybe I wasn't scared as easily as the others. But there definitely were things in this world I was terribly afraid of. A lot of things actually. Especially ever since that day 4 years ago. Oh mein Gott, was ist jetzt vor 4 Jahren gewesen? Darum geht's jetzt gar nicht, oder was? Come on now, people. No arguing, okay? Anywho, this might be entertaining. I just hope your story is gonna be better than that movie. Yeah. That was muy aburrido. Don't worry. I can guarantee you this is going to be the most unsettling story you will ever hear. Ja, der Film war sehr langweilig, sagt derjenige, der sich an die Frauen mit ranmachen wollte, indem er Angst vorgespielt hat. Ja, so langweilig war der Film. I can guarantee you this is going to be the most unsettling story you will ever hear. After all, I, the great hero, am a master of telling horror stories. Tatsache. You seem very confident, Hiro-chan. Alright then, let's hear it, Monsieur Numero Uno Gruselgeschichten-Narrator. Was war das denn jetzt? Monsieur Numero Uno Gruselgeschichten-Narrator. Einfach 4 Sprachen in einem einzigen Wort. Beziehungsweise in einem einzigen Namen. Like always, Hiro seemed rather full of himself, so naturally the expectations were quite high. Hiro was hoping he wasn't going to disappoint us. The most unsettling story we would ever hear, huh? Once everyone had calmed down and silence was spreading across the dining hall, Hiro cleared his throat and folded his hands under his chin, elbows resting on the table surface. After looking each of us deep in the eyes to make sure we were paying attention, he finally began telling his tale in the deepest, most ominous voice he could manage. First of all, let me start by stating that what I am about to share with you is actually a true story. In fact, it happened right in our quiet little hometown to people attending our school. Some of you might have even heard about it before. But even if you did, I'm pretty sure none of you know the whole truth behind this tragic tale of love, mistrust and despair. There was once a young girl about the same age as us. Und die sieht schon gar nicht aus wie aus einem Horrormärchen. She was the introverted type of girl. Quiet, shy, no friends. Therefore, it was only natural that when she fell in love with a boy from her class, she had a hard time getting closer to him. Since he was very popular and could have picked any girl he wanted, she didn't have much hope of him ever noticing her. However, the boy did take note of her. Somehow, among all the other girls in their class, she stuck out to him. She obviously couldn't believe it when he confessed his feelings to her, but of course she had no reason to refuse his proposal. And so, before long, the two of them became a couple. With him at her side, the girl was so happy. Aha, bis jetzt ist das noch nicht wirklich gruselig. Und warum trägt sie statt einer Krawatte einfach ein T-Shirt? Oder soll das was anderes darstellen? Ich wüsste halt nicht was. Happier than she had ever been in her life. She enjoyed spending time with him and did so whenever she could. Unfortunately, there was something that soon began to take away from her happiness. Something that scared her. Something she was so afraid of that it cost her countless nights without sleep. Even though they were together now, that didn't stop other girls from trying to conquer the boy's heart. Girls more intelligent, skilled and beautiful than she could ever hope to be. And so she became increasingly frightened that those girls would take him away from her. With every passing day, her fear of losing him to someone else grew stronger. Just seeing him talk to or merely greet any of their female classmates made her incredibly nervous. And soon, that nervousness transformed into something else. Why was he greeting that one girl every morning? Why was he smiling at the other whenever their gazes meet? And her heart was gradually consumed by envy. She began to read too much into every little action her boyfriend took. What if he liked any of those girls more than her? What if he was already cheating on her? What was she supposed to do then? After all, she couldn't even imagine living without him anymore. All these insecurities drove her crazy, and so she had to make sure... Sie bringt die anderen ne? She had to make sure he wasn't cheating on her. What the girl didn't realize, however, was that the boy truly loved her. He loved her so much, in fact, that he was already thinking of marrying her one day. So, ironically, it wasn't the boy's fault, but the girl's paranoia which started to ruin their relationship. In order to prevent him from falling for someone else, she demanded that he never talk to any other girl ever again. But that wasn't enough. She also wanted him to stop meeting his friends, as she became scared they could take him away from her as well. And to make sure he wouldn't break these promises and cheat on her, she went as far checking his phone, his mails, or sometimes even secretly following him, observing him from the shadows. Also war sie eine Yandere. In short, she tried to constantly keep tabs on him. At first the boy didn't mind too much. He thought it was just a phase, and that after a while she wouldn't realize he wasn't interested in anyone but her. To prove that, he was even fine with going along with almost all of her demands. However, it didn't get better. On the contrary, it got worse, and one day, the boy couldn't take his girlfriend's obsessive behavior anymore, so he went to meet her one final time in order to break up with her. Upon hearing the shocking news, the girl fell into a deep spiral of sadness and despair. That which she had dreaded the most had finally turned into a reality. No amount of begging seemed to change his mind, and as she had to realize that it truly was over, she made a decision. One day she went to the boy's home and rang his doorbell. Und dann hat sie ihn umgebracht. Ja. When he opened, she thrust a knife right through his chest. But that wasn't enough. Ja, sie sticht noch mehrmals zu, wie es scheint. She stabbed him over and over and over to make sure he truly was dead, and to make sure that no one else would ever be able to be together with him. With the deed done, she eventually returned home. There she hanged herself in her own room, to be together with him again in the afterlife. Als ob du dann immer noch denkst, ja, guck mal, ich hab den umgebracht, danach liebt der mich bestimmt. Was ist das denn für eine Logik?
The hell? That's messed up, man. That's really friggin' messed up. And you're saying that actually happened? And even in a quiet little town at that?
Indeed. A most terrifying thought, isn't it? That such a tragedy occurred so very close to us.
Bara-chan gulped hard upon hearing this revelation and once again grabbed my arm, as though she was hoping for me to protect her. Hiro seemed quite satisfied with her reaction, however. So far, Bara-chan was the only one who showed any signs of being scared by this little story. And to be honest, scaring her wasn't really much of an accomplishment. I really failed to see what was supposed to be so terribly frightening about this story. I had never heard about this particular case before, but similar cases were featured again and again on the news. Vor allem, wovor sollte sie jetzt Angst haben? Wäre ja eventuell noch was anderes gewesen, wenn er jetzt gesagt hätte, ja, und die Mörderin lebt noch und sie soll hier irgendwo rumlaufen oder irgendwie sowas. Aber nein, ja, sie ist tot. Also wovor soll man jetzt noch Angst haben? Ich meine, das ist eine Geschichte, die ein trauriges Ende hat, aber warum sollte das jetzt gruselig sein? So in that sentence, it wasn't anything I had never heard before. If you reduced the story to its important bits, it was just about a girl who had killed her boyfriend and afterwards committed suicide. Eben, das sind so Sachen, die passieren halt. Und das liest man auch in den Nachrichten. Ich weiß nicht, immer wenn irgendwie sowas Schreckliches in der Gegend passiert oder sowas, dann denke ich mir ja, das ist halt passiert, aber ich habe da jetzt keine große Angst, wo ich lebe, weil solche Geschichten, die passieren halt immer wegen irgendwelchen zwischenmenschlichen Zusammenspielen. Und nur weil das irgendwem passiert ist, der hier in der Gegend oder so in der Umgebung lebt, heißt das ja nicht, dass mir das auch passieren kann, weil wir halt nicht dasselbe soziale Umfeld und dieselben zwischenmenschlichen Beziehungen haben. Anyway, keep quiet for a moment. I'm not done yet. There's still a bit more to it. There is? Yeah. It's said that during her dying moments, the girl finally realized her foolishness and selfishness. She realized she shouldn't have killed the person she had loved so much, and that she herself had been the one to push him away by not trusting him. Because of that, her restless spirit now wanders in this realm in search of girls who are just like her. Aha. Girls who don't trust their boyfriends. Und ab da ist das keine wahre Geschichte mehr, weil es geht um Geister. Girls who are obviously jealous and possessive.
And what? What is she doing to those girls if she finds them?
Isn't it obvious? Before they can do anything foolish, she drives them to commit suicide. By hanging themselves.
Warum sollte sie das tun?
Poor little Gillable-chan. Sighing, I patted her on the head in an attempt to calm her down. Bara-chan, it's just a silly story.
But...
No buts. Ghosts do not exist. And even if the story was true, you'd have nothing to fear.
Really?
If this ghost is only after girls who are overly jealous and don't trust their boyfriends, then she wouldn't have any reason to target you now, would she?
I guess. Yeah, you got a point. Singles for the win.
Huh. So my story didn't scare you at all, Raiko? Not in the slightest. I can understand you want to act brave, but you can be honest with us. No one's gonna laugh if you just admit I totally scared the shit out of you. Aber ist denn überhaupt irgendjemand anderes gescared?
Pah!
No way Raiko would be scared by such a lame story. It wasn't scary at all. Mika is really disappointed. Hiro will never be able to scare Raiko with such cheap, uninspired tricks. How come those words sounded so strikingly familiar? Ja, aber genau das hat sie über ihre Tricks gesagt. Oder hat er das über ihre Tricks gesagt? Irgendjemand hat das über ihre Tricks gesagt, jedenfalls. Yeah, Mika's right. That story was awfully disappointing. Nothing I haven't heard before. After all that big talk, that's really all you've got. Yeah, seriously, amigo. That story was très ennuyeux. Wird das so ausgesprochen? Ich weiß es nicht. Even my grandma's childhood tales are more terrifying than that load of horse shit. You're all just acting tough, cause you don't want to admit I scared you shitless. I am terribly sorry to say this, Shiratake-san, but I also didn't think that story was very scary. That's because it wasn't. Seriously, Hiro. I wanted to see you fail, but that was just plain pathetic.
I thought it was scary. Don't listen to the others. Your story was great. I'm really terrified of that girl's ghost now.
Obviously. You're the one with the most reason to, after all.
Huh?
Probably because you're the only one around here with a boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Hieß es nicht vorher schon, zwischen den beiden gibt's ein paar Probleme? Kann es sein, dass... Und Momoko war ja auch so eine, die früher eher so unbeliebt und zurückhaltend und introvertiert war. Kann es sein, dass es da eine Parallele gibt und dass sie jetzt diejenige ist, die so klammert? Not just because of that.
What? What do you mean by that, Hiro?
Never mind. Also doch das, was ich gerade vermutet habe. Oh dear. For a moment, Momoko seemed rather puzzled at her boyfriend's words, but then it began to dawn on her.
Hey, wait a sec. What are you trying to imply here?
Imply? I'm not implying anything. Clenching her fist, Momoko suddenly shot up to her feet. With anger burning in her eyes, she glared down at him, waiting for an explanation. Hiro remained silent, however, which obviously didn't help diffuse the situation.
Hiro, answer me! Hiro?
He didn't say a word. He didn't even look at her. Instead, he simply grabbed one of the cookies lying in front of him and stuffed it down his throat, while the rest of us just sat there in speechless bewilderment. Und Rie nimmt sich schon wieder sehr viel Zeit, um wiederzukommen, wa? Just what the heck was going on? A couple of minutes ago, everyone had been enjoying themselves, but now the atmosphere had become unbearably tense.
I had never seen Momoko angry before. Granted, I didn't see her outside of classes, but still. Just imagining her, of all people, getting angry like this seemed strangely absurd. This whole scenario seemed kind of surreal. I'm the one with the most reason to be afraid of that ghost. And not just because I'm the only one with a boyfriend here. That's what you said, right? So in other words, you're implying there are more parallels between me and that girl from your story, aren't you?
I don't know. Am I?
That's what I want to know from you. Is this about the whole thing from the other day again? Do you really think I'm overly jealous? Are you implying I'm obsessive? Is that what you're getting at?
I actually never thought about that before, but since you're getting so worked up over it, maybe there's something to it.
You asshole. At least say it straight to my face.
Why do you think I did it in such a roundabout way, huh? Because I'm not in the mood for your fucking bitching again.
What?
Guess I underestimated you. To be honest, I thought you'd be too stupid to get the point of my little story.
You asshole!
Is that all you've got? You're repeating yourself, my sweetheart.
Why you?
Okay, that's enough.
Okay. Da gibt's scheinbar schon mal gewisse Schwierigkeiten. As the fight was about to escalate, Kamen quickly intervened. She grabbed Momoko's hand before it could slap Hiro in the face and tried to calm her down. Momoko completely ignored her words though. She and Hiro were too busy throwing more and more insults at each other, leaving Kamen without no choice but to forcefully pull her friend away, dragging her to the far side of the dining hall. Rolling his eyes, Hiro rested his chin on his fist and grabbed another cookie, while the rest of us stared at him in shock. None of us could believe what we had just witnessed. After a couple moments of no one saying a word, it was Kodoba who slammed his hand on the table to break the awkward silence. Aber sagt irgendwas Bescheuertes, oder?
Dude! The fuck was that?
What was what?
Don't give me that crap, you fuckhead! Go apologize to her, damn it! That's no way to treat your girlfriend, you asshole!
You did not just say that.
What? Got a problem with that?
Of course I've got a problem with some dipshit trying to lecture me how to treat my girl. Before you even think about saying shit like that again, you should stop fapping to your anime girls and get a real girlfriend yourself, you fucking loser.
Why, you?
Hey, that's enough. Although Kodoba's right.
Is he now?
Ja, du verhältst dich echt wie ein Arsch. That definitely wasn't okay, dude. Es ist vor allem, wenn er ihr das so einfach ins Gesicht gesagt hätte, privat oder was, dann wäre er weit weniger ein Arsch, als er es jetzt ist. Aber er macht das so vor allen anderen und stellt sie halt bloß. Und das ist halt so richtiges Arschlochverhalten. Also wenn er das unter 4 Augen ihr so ins Gesicht gesagt hätte, dass das Verhalten nicht geht und sowas und was weiß ich. Aber das ist halt, ganz ehrlich. That definitely wasn't okay, dude. I mean, what the hell? Was that the real reason you wanted to tell us that story?
So what if it was?
You can't be serious. I don't even know what to say to that.
Then don't say anything. Ain't that hard? Dunno what you're even talking about anyway. That bitch is the one who started arguing out of the blue and misinterpreting what I said.
Don't give me that childish crap now.
Whatever, man. Just leave me the fuck alone.
And without another word, Hiro stood up and simply walked away, signaling us that he didn't want to be disturbed. Meanwhile, Kamen was still trying to calm down Momoko. They were too far away to make out any exact words, but I could definitely hear Momoko's faint sobs.
Arschloch.
Hauptsache, das sagt er wieder auf Deutsch.
The heck is wrong with him?
No idea. I honestly can't believe this just happened. Poor Momo. That really was a douchebaggy move of him. Well, it is a partly Mori-san's fault. Huh? What do you mean by that? Hoping she would elaborate on that statement, 5 sets of eyes were directed at Runa. Unfortunately, instead of giving a reply, she just wordlessly stood up herself and walked towards Carmen and Momoko. Weiß sie etwa mehr darüber, was zwischen den beiden vorgefallen ist? What the heck is even going on here? Did I miss something important? Anyone comprendre? Nope, but we better ain't gonna get involved in this. Ain't none of our business anyway. I agree. Talking to Hiro now would be a waste of time. No matter what we say, it will only piss him off more. As for Momoko, better leave that to Carmen and Runa. Hiro, that cabron. He doesn't deserve my sweet little Momo-chan. Deine? If only she had chosen me instead. Hätte sie eventuell vielleicht auch, wenn du nicht du wärst. Wenn du nicht die ganze Zeit über Masturbieren reden würdest und über Pornos und Leuten unangenehme Fragen stellst. I'd never treat mon chéri that way. I don't even want to imagine how you would treat her. I treat her with lots of love, of course. Especially the tender butt of hers. Stop right there, villain! Mika-chan? Mika? Hey, come on. There's already enough fighting going on here. How about we spread some love for once? You know, by making... Slash! Ugh. Well, what else to say but serves him right, huh? So wie das Ende von dem Film. Ouch! Why does Chicas always have to be so schwierig? Maybe you should just give up and settle for guys then. Oh, is that an offer, Taiko-chan? No. I'm warning you. Don't even think about it. Naja, er hat ja auch schon davon geträumt, die Seife fallen zu lassen und fand das scheinbar geil. Too late. Was? What the? Was zum Teufel is going on? Das Licht ist aus. I would have liked to know that myself. War es das, was Rie unbedingt tun musste? From one moment to the next, we were surrounded by a thick cloak of darkness. I tried looking around, but literally couldn't see a thing. Das war natürlich geplant. Ich meine, warum sonst hätte Runa die ganzen Kerzen ausmachen sollen, damit nur noch die Lampen an sind, die mit Strom betrieben sind. Also komm schon, das ist doch pure Absicht. Not even my hand in front of my face. It was pitch black. Why is everything so oscuro all of a sudden? Was geht hier vor? Sehr schön, wie das geschrieben war. Vor. Kotoba? What the hell happened? Where are you? Taiko kept calling out for his friend a few more times, but didn't get a reply. Judging from that loud, shattering noise, it seemed as though Kotoba had tripped over something and had fallen onto one of the dinner tables. But why wasn't he responding? Did he... Okay, everyone, stay where you are. Don't move. After what had just happened to Kotoba, Taiko obviously didn't need to tell us twice. Heeding his advice, everyone seemed to stay right where they were, indicated by the utmost complete silence. Eee! Bah!
Das kann mir natürlich nur passieren, wenn ich so ein Horror-Visual-Novel aufnehme. Kennt ihr diese kleinen Fruchtfliegen? Mir ist gerade so eine auf die Zunge geflogen. Und ich frage mich, was ist das? Warum habe ich auf einmal so ein komisches Gefühl im Mund? Und jetzt hole ich dieses... Bäh! Ekelhaft. Heeding his advice, everyone seemed to stay right where they were, indicated by the utmost complete silence filling the dining hall. The only sounds I managed to perceive were coming from Taiko's direction, as he was undoubtedly trying to get a hold of his friend. How's Gaikuku-san? I don't know. It would help if I could see a fucking thing. Ist der jetzt tot? While Taiki continued trying to find out if his friend was alright or not, I could hear nervous and confused whispering whispers coming from where Runa, Carmen, and Momoko should have been. They seemed to feel as uneasy as Bara-chan, who held onto me as usual. As her shaky voice reached my ear, her grip got even tighter. Raiko-chan! What the hell's happening here? Seems like a power outage. Don't be afraid. A power outage? Indeed. Ich würde sagen, an dieser Stelle machen wir beim nächsten Mal weiter. Bis dann, Leute. Ciao.